Guys, we're going to kick this off a little bit differently than we've done in the past. This isn't sprint planning anymore. We're going to kick this off as Monday motivation. We're all starting the week off right. And I think it's important we talk about, you got to have the will, the skill, and the refill. We talk about this all the time. And part of that refill is looking at our why. We talked about that last week. And I was looking at some statistics, and this is really what I wanted to share with you guys as part of a Monday motivation. The stats are out. I didn't come up with the stats, guys. These have been out for a long time. We're in the second week of the new year. Okay, it's 2023. 2022 is behind us. And independent of what you did victoriously or unsuccessfully in 2022, it's in the past. Can't change it. Okay, celebrate the victories, learn from the losses, and it's time to move forward. And the reality is, second week of January, 25%. Okay, I want you to let this sink in. 25%, 1 in every 4 people has already given up on their goals for 2023. 1 week into the new year, 25% of people have given up on this goal. Guy, you and I were talking about this as before we even came into here, and I just can't believe it. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about some of the reasons why and things like that. But here's the reality. If you've already given up on your goal for any number of reasons we're going to discuss today, it's a new day. Don't give up. Get restarted. Every day is a new day. Okay? I love this old saying, right? As an entrepreneur, you can fire yourself every single day if you're unhappy, as long as you are willing to rehire yourself the next morning, because it is being relentlessly consistent, disciplined, and focused on our goals over an extended period of time that will help us achieve them. So, if you are this person, or if you know somebody who needs to hear this message because they're a week in and they've already given up on their goals, or maybe even didn't start on their goals in the first place, it's time to get restarted and restart every single day as if it's the very beginning, because it's that consistency over time. So, Guy, I'm going to throw it over to you to put in your thoughts on this, but that statistic blew my mind. Let's change that statistic, or at least individually be the exception rather than the rule.
Right. I think we talked about it on Friday, how we're so cohesive is from, these are the types of things that we look into in our refill.
Yeah.
Like, these are the things that sort of irk you, like why? And how can we figure out, how can we support people to get past those abysmal statistics? Mm-hmm. In my refill through the weekend, and I was telling you, ER, have been doing a lot of listening, different podcasts, just different motivational type things. To ER's point, what a lot of these Mondays will just be short motivational little snippets. A lot of times we're probably even going to record them Friday, Saturday, Sunday before, and then just post them. And to your point from Friday, Jeff, is there a quick way for people to repost and reshare and do those different types of things? But we figured, being where this is our first motivational Monday, we were going to go live with it. ER, talking about the goals and how 25% of people have already quit. What I had pulled out of a lot of what I had listened to is there are 2 key factors that need to be present in order to reach a goal. The first one is a will, and the second one's a way. Right? Every single goal needs both of those present in order to reach them. Your will is like that, the motivation, the determination, the dopamine that gets you going. Like, this is what I want to do. Yeah. And then the way, there's more effectively, in order to have a way, you require your prefrontal cortex. So from a biological aspect, the frontal part of the brain.
Can't nobody do it better than Dane.
Hey, Danon, can you please mute yourself?
I got him.
And so, talking about the prefrontal cortex, and that's executive functioning that we need to have in place. So it is proven that when you have both of them, your brain will start working to help you achieve your goal. So you've got to have both present. Yeah, we talk about it a lot of times. There's so many people that have a will, but they just don't have a way to do it.
Yep.
Right. We want to expand our community. We've talked about it, how we've gone from a micro technology provider to more of a community, to supporting people that want to reach success. We believe there's a way, and we can strategize and work with individuals. And, we've got ambassadors and affiliates that can do the exact same. But then there's some people that have a way and no will. And that's the sad one. If you're looking at probably that 25% of individuals who have stopped on their resolution, I would identify that probably as their will.
Yeah.
Their will is broken, and they need to have some type of motivation or a spark, a support, a handout for them to find something to bring that spark back to them.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to add for our motivation for Monday. Make sure you have a will and a way. Make sure who we're talking to, that if they don't have one or the other, be that for them, be that support mechanism, and help them say, I'm going to rehire myself today.
Awesome. Yeah, we're going to get into some conversation here. Here's a few other things I found, Guy, on reasons for why people fail at the resolutions, and I'm going to come out with some additional statistics, because I have the 1 week statistic, I've got the 1 month statistic, I've got the quarter statistic, the half year statistic. I know when the tipping point is, when a majority of people who've set a resolution have quit. But here are the most common things, guys. Did you set too many resolutions? Don't spread yourself thin. Don't spread yourself thin. We want to be laser focused on some things. We talk about the win list, what's important right now. Guy, I create and send over like the weekly win list, and the daily one. I can't do more than 3, 4, 5 things max that are the big, hairy, audacious things for the day. So how many resolutions did you set this year, if you set any at all, or how many goals have you put forth for yourself? Some people, they just forget about it. I don't know if it's a time of celebration at New Year's Eve where you're just completely inebriated and you're like, I'm going to do this, and then you forget about it. I don't know. You got to remind yourself, right? It's that constant refill that we talk about. Here's another one. People don't track their progress. Look, again, you got to celebrate the victories. You're not going to know that unless you track it. You got to learn from the defeats. You're not going to know that unless you track it. So this is why we talk about putting things down in writing. We talk about looking at the metrics. We talk about measuring and then doing a retrospective, reflecting on that so that you can grow and move forward. And here's the other thing, and I know we talked a lot about this as we were leading into 2023, is some people set unrealistic goals. Make sure what you're working on is realistic and set the right expectations. I talked about having the right confidence level, not in yourself. We should all have confidence in ourselves, but confidence in your ability to take the action and repeat the action over time. And if you're not a 9 out of 10, or in my mind, an absolute 10 out of 10 on the action or activity that you need to do consistently, you need to break that action down until you are a 10 out of 10. Make them realistic. If you have a daily goal, is it realistic? I think that's a massively important one. And make sure you're covering those two things, the will and the why, that Guy talked about, because it's critical, and you can't have one without the other and expect to make it. So guys, with that being said, we're going to crank this thing off. If you have somebody who needs to hear this, please grab this video, reshare it with them. Guy, to your point, we're going to put together a Monday motivation card template that everybody can use to reshare these things out, and we'll update it with the new videos as we move forward.